Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today I am bringing you guys another Cobra Kai What If. I know I've been doing a lot of Cobra Kai lately, but it is my main source of content now ever since I did quit Naruto What If, so I figured since this is my main source of content, might as well make more videos on it, especially with What Ifs since you guys love that the most. These past few videos have been doing great, and I just want to say thank you guys for, giving me your support. It means a lot, especially since the majority of my viewers are kind of dead now because I don't do the main content they subbed for. So it really does, motivate me, and overall is just a positive to see people actually enjoying this type of content. And since, you guys enjoy it, I'm going to be doing a relatively popular what if that's been suggested amongst my comment section. That being, what if Johnny never left Robbie or raised Robbie? Now, I feel like never left and raised are two different things, so I'm going to be more so going with raised and essentially having, instead of Johnny leaving Robbie, it's going to be the mother of Robbie. I did forget her name, so I'm just going to be calling her Rehab Lady for the time being. Sorry, guys, but yeah. Basically, what if Rehab Lady left Robbie and Johnny was left to try and take care of him? Now, let's dive into the what if concept. What if Johnny raised Robbie? Here we go.
Hey, collecting rings like I'm Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy, so I got him on a diet. Yeah, flex like I'm Hogan. Hey, yo, he's coming over. Yeah, we respect.
In order for this what if to work, we're going to be having, again, Rehab Lady leaving Robbie forever and essentially just being the Johnny in this situation. And now Johnny here would still be thinking that he should leave Robbie, but because Rehab Lady dipped, now Johnny knows that he has no other choice but to try and raise this kid. Johnny knows that he is in a pretty bad part in his life at this point, and now he could either raise a kid and hopefully make it the best life he can, or leave Robbie, make him go to a foster home, and just be miserable for the rest of his life. Johnny knows that this could be a positive thing in his life, and because Rehab Lady is leaving, and now Johnny has no other choice but to actually try and raise Robbie or leave him, Johnny clearly sees that raising him will be the better option, so he is going to raise Robbie and take custody of him. So the roles are reversed here, and Johnny's mom would be spiraling down while Johnny would be trying his best and doing the best he can to try and raise this new child. Now, I do believe Robbie's mom will hit a rock bottom, an even lower bottom than she did in canon, and basically using drugs and pills as her escape, because she's been so guilty about not being able to raise Robbie or not being able to help Johnny raise this boy, and so she uses this to run away rather than face her fears. And Johnny, well, is the exact opposite. He is going to be facing his fears in this timeline. We already know that Johnny's never had a father, so seeing the possibility of his own son not having one either just is more scarier than Johnny being scared of being a parent and facing that fear. Johnny already knows as well that he hasn't been the same ever since Daniel LaRusso beat him in the All Valley, but maybe with Robbie, he can get over that and move on finally, move forward with him, because that's always been haunting him in the past. So here, not only does Robbie help Johnny face his fears and actually not run away, but also helps Johnny try and move on, or at least think about moving on from this petty memory that he always has in the back of his head. It's like as if Daniel LaRusso is always haunting him, but with Robbie, he doesn't need to think about Daniel haunting him, but rather be more focused in raising a son and actually having a life, in comparison to the canon Johnny, who's barely had a life because of these memories. Now, I believe after this, Robbie is going to be essentially raised by Johnny. Johnny is not going to be much of a party man or really any of that, rather be more focused in raising Robbie. He's going to be a lot more responsible here. So instead of partying through his 20s and 30s and stuff and wasting his life, he's actually going to be committed to helping Robbie. This is way more beneficial for Robbie as well, because not only is he being raised by Johnny, but he's also being raised by a better parent, because even when his mom raised him, she wasn't much of a mother to Robbie. So it's not like Robbie is going to feel like this kid who's barely having anything. He's given the world literally by Johnny. So Johnny would not only be there for Robbie, Robbie's never going to fall down and hang out with thugs or do any drugs as well. Ooh, bars. Anyways, he's not going to be doing any of that because he's going to be raised by Johnny, who's essentially going to tell him that that stuff is not okay. And also because Johnny is his guardian, he's going to be going to school. Although Johnny's karate is definitely rusty and he's been raising Robbie for way too long to really be worrying about karate skills, he would teach Robbie anything he really knows about karate to let Robbie defend himself, and just in case if Robbie gets in a scenario where he needs help and Johnny's not there, then Robbie can defend himself. I'd say he's relative to an initial Robbie who was training at Miyagi-Do, so like in episode 6 or 7 Robbie. He's still strong in his own right, though. He can at least defend himself and beat up bullies. Now, by the time Season 1, Episode 1 rolls around, we would have a new family moving in right next to Johnny, essentially their neighbors, and this would lead into him being introduced to Miguel Diaz. And also, because Johnny is not a miserable loser in this timeline, we would have Johnny actually being a nice person and more so like his Season 3 self, so he's a lot more friendlier to Miguel and he's not going to be as rude. Also, he would introduce his son to Miguel. So not only is Miguel getting on the right foot with Johnny already, but also Miguel and Robbie meet earlier and they get on the right foot immediately as well, rather than in canon where their rivalry starts off based off misinterpretations of each other. Now later on that day, this leads to Miguel getting jumped near the mini mall that Johnny originally would go to, but I think in this timeline it would be Robbie. You see, Johnny's not as much of a bum in this timeline, so he doesn't need specifically dinner here, but Robbie would just go get a snack. Robbie would witness not only Miguel getting jumped, but anti-pink diarrhea goo being dumped on his head, and this leads into Robbie facing off against Kyler and his friends. Now, Robbie, after beating them up, would also be approached by the cops. However, in this timeline, it's not going to be like Johnny, where he just gets socked and then basically bailed out of jail. Because Robbie's a kid himself, this means Robbie can't get charged with attacking a minor because he's a minor himself. Now, I think because of these factors, Robbie is not going to be going to jail, especially when the victim, that being Miguel, explains to the cops that Robbie's not in the wrong, and Robbie and Miguel's stories are essentially very similar to each other, and they correlate with each other. Kyler and his friends are very lucky that they are not going to jail tonight, and Robbie and Miguel are off the hook. Now, here's what's interesting. Because Robbie never goes to jail, or Johnny never goes to jail, this means Sid never bails him out, and this also means Sid's never going to try and buy Johnny out of his life. Also, this wouldn't even happen anyway, considering Johnny would never rely on Sid, since Johnny in this timeline is more accustomed to a better lifestyle or a less bummy lifestyle, so not only does he have a source of income, he can also raise Robbie. Also, as I said earlier, Johnny is in a completely different mindset and mentality in this timeline. He's actually moved on and is a lot more responsible, unlike his Season 1 self. So, instead of Daniel haunting him, leading into him driving drunk and then getting hit by Sam and her friends, rather, it would be just Johnny staying at home, and if he sees Daniel on the TV, he'd probably just change the channel. Like, he's already been talking about coping with this whole Daniel in the past thing ever since he started raising Robbie, so I think by the time Robbie's especially 16, I think it'd be very unlikely for Daniel LaRusso to still haunt Johnny even to this day. So, even if he was haunting him, I don't think Johnny would escalate to the point to where he would go out and drink and drive when he knows he has a son. Like, there are multiple factors, even if we just want to go along with it when it doesn't make sense, it still doesn't make sense. So, I think in this timeline, we can safely say Johnny never goes out that night. So, if Johnny doesn't go out, this means Sam and her friends never hit Johnny's car. This also means Johnny and Daniel never interact, which also motivates Johnny to go and start Cobra Kai. And he also starts Cobra Kai with Sid's money, which he doesn't have in this timeline. So let me ask you guys something. How can Johnny make Cobra Kai if the moments that were a crucial factor to Johnny making Cobra Kai don't even happen, just because in this timeline these events don't exist? Well, I'll give you the short answer. Johnny never makes Cobra Kai, which essentially means the show won't even be called Cobra Kai. Without Johnny making Cobra Kai, this means Daniel is never going to notice this, which means he's never going to try and shut down Cobra Kai, which means he's more than likely not going to get back into Miyagi-Do, and this also means that Miguel and Sam can actually get together whenever Miguel tries to reach out to Sam. And also, Cobra Kai never exists, which means Miguel and Robbie aren't going to be nearly as experienced in martial arts, but I do think Miguel would still learn it thanks to Robbie and Johnny. Maybe they can teach them, which leads into Miguel concluding his arc of becoming a hero and beating up Kyler and then getting the girl. Now, because of these events happening, this means Robbie's never going to get in the middle of Miguel and Sam, which means Robbie's not going to ruin their relationship, which means they are going to never break up and they are going to stay together at this point. Robbie would probably never meet anyone because since there's no dojos, this means no Tori. Johnny raising Robbie equals no Cobra Kai equals no dojo rivalry equals everyone can literally live in peace and harmony. And without any of these returning dojos, this means no John Kreese, no conflict, no villain, and Cobra Kai literally doesn't even have to exist. This show is just going to be called like The Goat Johnny, because that's literally the best name I can give for you to get an indication of what the show is going to be about. Johnny being a goat. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Cobra Kai essentially never happens because of these events. And I'm actually glad you guys suggested this what if, because it was actually a lot more different from my other ones. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, as that is greatly appreciated, and hit the bell icon because YouTube notifications are really bad and you guys don't even get them. So be sure to hit the bell icon that we are notified, and be sure to constantly check on the channel because, again, YouTube notifications don't even work half of the time. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and follow me on TikTok. Both of those social media links will be in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Bye.